This is the beginning of the Emran and Shakib nameless pod. We haven't came up with a name, but
Hey, bro, names are in the work though. Names are coming
yes,
pretty soon.
names are in the works. Don't have a name yet, but this is our first episode. We might as well get it started here right away. Y'all know about me. I'm a 49ers fan. I'm a Chelsea fan, and I root for LeBron. Don't really have an NBA team, but y'all don't know Shakib. Shakib is more, basketball and
I'm
football.
from Denver. I used to live in Denver. I'm a Nuggets, Broncos, Avalanche, Colorado Spring fan, Colorado Rockies fan. If Colorado's in the name, if we're in the mile high, that's my team. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
you get it. Denver, 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 Denver,
Denver,
Denver,
Denver, Denver,
Denver,
everything.
Denver.
MVP Jokic,
Denver.
it's how it is.
And yeah, I mean, roots for Denver. You always in the group chats talking about the Nuggets, talking about the Broncos, and we'll touch up on his Broncos and Nuggets. But right now, I just want to say, real thoughts. The NFL season. We're about 3 weeks in, playing Thursday night of the fourth week. Oh, what a catch by Tyler! Is that Tyler Boyd? No, it's not. Can't see.
I'm not watching the game right now, so I couldn't
Yeah,
tell you.
yeah,
But
I know. We're watching game four, Thursday night football for game four. So we've seen 3 weeks so far. What is your thoughts so far of this NFL season? What have been your biggest takeaways?
okay. Full stop. The Rams are the best team in football. Just full stop. Cooper Cup's insane. That
Yeah,
Matthew Stafford is an MVP candidate.
yeah. So far,
Hang me from the gallows for saying this, but he might be a top 5 QB in the league right now. You get hang me from the gallows. Don't care. I said what I said. I said what I said.
that's a stretch, but okay, whatever. Look, your biggest takeaway so far. The Rams. You think the Rams are the best team in the league right now? My Rams have looked like one of the best teams in the league. That's not even denying it as a 49ers fan.
Like the Bucks are the defending champions, and the Rams dogged them.
Yeah.
Like it was insane.
Um, Rams would probably be my biggest takeaway, but also another big takeaway I got is the the Seahawks. They're not as good as what we thought they would be. They started off 1-2. They beat a Colts team that was had an injured Carson Wentz who missed all of training camp on a new team, and then they completely not choked, but completely gagged against a Tennessee Titans team coming off of a horrible loss to Arizona, and also a loss to a Minnesota team who has they were 0-2, and they're not they have their shakiness, and now they have to go to San Francisco too. And if they go to San Francisco and lose that game, they're 1-3. The Niners are 3-1. The Seahawks are having to play a major catch-up game that I haven't heard of the past 10 years. This hasn't been the Seahawks. So I think the Seahawks has been a big takeaway for me. The Cowboys have looked pretty decent. Pretty decent. They beat on a Chargers team in LA in their first ever full crowd game. They competed with the Buccaneers, and they also destroyed up in a poor Philly team. But you know what? 49ers couldn't destroy them up. So props to the Cowboys for that. I still think they're gonna be getting the Cowboys will do cowboy things, and eventually they will get exposed like they always do. But I'll give them their props, and they look like clear NFC East contenders.
All right,
Those
look.
are so far my biggest takeaways.
All right, look, 2 things. One thing, but the NFC West, it is the most brutal division in football.
Absolutely.
Maybe even in sports. Maybe even in sports. The Seahawks, if they lose this week, I might rule them out just completely because the Cardinals, great team. Niners, great team. Rams, best team in football. I don't think the Seahawks can catch up in time unless they win this game. This is like the game of the season for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say game. It's a big game. It's a very big game for this early into season. That's why, sometimes it's a little frustrating when the division games come earlier. You know what I mean? Because they're such big games, but they're happening very early into the season. So, yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. Huge game for Seattle and huge game for San Francisco because they're coming off of a loss. Suddenly, the momentum that they gained from getting the first 2 wins will be all gone because they're losing their first 2 games that are semi-competitive, which is not what the 49ers want, especially in their first 2 home games of the season. You don't want to start off with
I think it's going to be a big game for your heart because if y'all lose that game, I know you're going to be crying.
Oh, The
Yeah.
Packers game is one thing. Losing to the Seattle Seahawks when we could bounce them down to 1-3 and lift us up to 3-1, that's a different type of heartbreak. I'm not going to be able to handle the police 49ers. There's some games that just mean more than others. I'm going to repeat this again, 49ers. There are some games that mean more than others. Please, please, please take care of this one. Don't get behind like they've been getting behind against the Eagles and the Packers. Don't start off woefully. Please don't get beat. Don't get beat. Don't let Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. I don't know if Lockett will be playing, but don't let them get in behind you. Don't let that happen. Please, please. Whatever happens, makes them dink and dunk all the way down the field. Don't give them the big play. Because if you because that's the thing with the Seahawks too. Don't give them the big play. Let them slowly, methodically drive down the field. Because we've never really seen the Seahawks be able to do that on a consistent basis. And don't give up the big plays, please. I know it's easier said than done.
Y'all have control.
There's games that matter more than others. Do not lose to Seattle. No, please.
The thing is,
that's all I gotta say.
The Seahawks can't win this game, but the 49ers can lose it. The 49ers have the better defense. Their offense is more of a well-oiled machine. Absolutely. Y'all can win this game. Y'all have Kyle Shanahan. But the thing is, y'all can also lose this game. The Seahawks won't beat you. Y'all can beat yourselves.
Right. Absolutely.
And the thing I say about the Cowboys, honestly, I think, and I know I say this every year, and I know that like everyone says this when we're in Dallas. I'm not even a Cowboys fan, but they're a legit team. Their main issue last year was defense. Their defense has been arguably top 10 this season. They've had a great defense this year. Micah Parsons, great pickup.
Absolutely.
The thing is, the Cowboys they're the by far favorites in the NFC East. The Washington football team defense, no, they sold me in fantasy. They're selling in real life. Like, the Cowboys are far and away the best team in the NFC East. Giants are not a football team. Eagles aren't a football team. Washington's are fake. Dallas is a real football team. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I got to be honest. I can't argue with that. It's disappointing, but the Cowboys are clearly right now the best team in the NFC East, and they are the favorites. Let's move on to the AFC side. You know what? As far as NFC West being the toughest division in football, it is, absolutely. But the AFC West is not some easy slack too. You got two 3-0 teams, the Raiders and the Broncos, which we'll get into those two specifically. Also, we'll get into the other teams too. Chargers 2-1, losing to the Cowboys, but then end up getting a massive win against the Chiefs in Kansas City. And then you also have the Chiefs who are 1-2.
The Chiefs are not in trouble. This is not like
the
Raiders. Okay. The Raiders are gonna be exposed very soon.
Whoa. Let me say my take on the Raiders first, though. I think the Raiders are one of the best teams in football. I think their defense has improved vastly.
Give me 1 second. Yo, give me 1 second, bro. Give me 1 second, bro.
What is he doing?
What were you saying?
What is that?
It's a cat. What are you saying, bro?
Oh, okay. I think the Raiders are one of the most underrated teams in football, bro. I think their quarterback, and it's because of their quarterback. Quarterback is vastly underrated. Derek Carr. I gotta say, when people make these comparisons to Derek Carr, look at Derek Carr's defense last year. Look at Derek Carr's offensive line last year. Like all the comparing all the injuries and all that, all the different continuity, different set of linemen. Compare that to other situations, and it's just Derek Carr has had to do so much. And these 3 games, every single game, he's made clutch throw after clutch throw. He made like 5 against the Ravens. He made that a clutch bomb against the Steelers. And then he made those clutch plays down the stretch against Miami. He's just doing it. That's why he's my MVP right now, because he's not only pushing the ball down the field and getting the ball down the field, he's also making clutch plays that are, that other quarterbacks can't make, other good quarterbacks can't make, that he's been making. He's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. And you said Matt Stafford is a top 5 quarterback. I think Derek Carr is a top 5 quarterback. I do. That dude is simply sensational. And the Raiders defense, has taken not a step. I wouldn't say a step up, but they've gotten better under Gus Bradley. They've gotten better. They're not giving up the crazy amount of yards and points that they gave up last season. They're a little bit formidable. And the more games that he coaches, the more continuity he gets with the team, only better that they get. I think this defense is only going to get better. They're not going to be good, but they don't need to be good. They just need to be not bad. You know what I mean? Like they were last year. They don't. That's all they got to be. And if you give Derek Carr the chance to win it at the end, he's shown the ability that he can do that over and over again. Derek Carr has made so many comebacks, so many clutch drives over his career that people don't talk about.
Last year, okay, let's see what happened last year. The Raiders were a pretty good team the first couple of weeks, right? They were a decent team first week of the season, and then they completely fell off a cliff at the end, right? I'm not gonna trust them until they win past week 6.
It's one season. I don't think you can say that's something that happens over and over again if it only happens once. Like same with the Lamar thing. They keep saying Lamar lost to Lamar before he won his first playoff game. Oh, he can't win. He's what's it called? They were saying like, I'm not gonna trust him until he wins a playoff game. Really? Just because he lost 1 year? Like his first season, he wasn't even the starter starting off the season. And then his next season was his first full season. And he loses game 1. Now suddenly he's not a playoff quarterback. Like that's the thing. Like it's only been 1 year with the Raiders that this has happened where they fell off. That doesn't mean it's gonna happen over and over again. That's why I think this Raiders team is underrated.
I can't put this place in the AFC West before I see some real
fourth
stuff.
Place?
I have them 4th place in the AFC West right now.
Dude, you think the Broncos are one of the fakest 3-0 teams I've ever seen? They beat teams that are combined 0-9. How can you say the Broncos are better than the Raiders?
Hey, okay. The teams we played were not real NFL teams. I get that. But still, if you look at the league stats, through 3 entire games, we've allowed 26 points. Through 3 games.
Okay.
That is numerically, statistically, as the best.
You're playing a rookie, Zach Wilson, right? One game.
Okay.
The other game you were playing Daniel Jones.
Okay.
And then the other game was
Trevor Lawrence.
Another rookie, Trevor Lawrence. You're playing 2 rookies and you're playing Daniel Jones.
Our defense still got like 5 sacks against the Jets.
Also, you're playing against 2 new head coaches and 1 second-year head coach. You're playing against teams that had a 2-14 record last year. I think the Giants were like 5-11 or 6-10.
They were 1-15.
Oh, they were 1-15. The Giants were 5-11 or 6-10. And
no, the Jags were 1-15.
The Giants were 5-11. The Jets were 2-14. 2-14, and the Jaguars were 1-15. They combined for those 3 teams combined for 9 wins last season.
Either way,
come on.
We're still 3-0.
Who do they play this week? I think they play
Ravens.
Yes.
That'll be if we win that game, get the cavalry out. We're good.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll say y'all are good. I mean, sure.
Teddy Bridgewater has been a very good quarterback.
Yeah, I think
interceptions thrown yet. Yeah. And I've been saying since last year, we're a quarterback away from being an elite team.
Do y'all think y'all better than the Chargers?
I think that we're on the same level as the Chargers. I think it's
I agree with you. I think y'all are on the same level as the Chargers. What I think what will elevate Chargers over Broncos. And don't get me wrong. I'm a big Teddy Bridgewater fan. I think he's a pretty good quarterback who, I think got a little bit of a raw deal in Carolina. Not a raw deal in Carolina, but like he wasn't the main problem. That's all I'm gonna say. He wasn't the main problem. Obviously, he's not better than Sam Darnold, but he wasn't the main problem. I think that what's going to elevate the Chargers over the Broncos is the quarterback, Justin Herbert. He's just supremely talented and has all the skills needed to be a guy that can.
He has win crazy weapons. He has Keenan Allen. He has
Williams, Austin Eckler.
Like
that defense is up there with the Broncos defense.
Also, his O-line, that rookie, I forgot his name.
Offensive line is like one of the biggest jumps of an offensive line can make between 1 year and another because they're suddenly now good. Balaga was out and that sacrificed them against Dallas, but still, that offensive line is better. New coaching staff not making those boneheaded mistakes that they made last year. You know what I mean? I'll just be saying, be
Honestly,
careful.
okay.
And do not underrate the Chiefs. They're not in trouble. Let's be fair.
Yeah,
They'll
they're gonna
make it
win. They're
back.
gonna win. Like they're gonna. I could almost like put that on God. They're winning the division for sure.
No, I mean, they will win. They probably would win. I'm not gonna.
They will. They will. I
I'm
can
not that
guarantee.
confident.
Guarantee.
They're still 2 games behind the Raiders, and the Raiders have shown that they can compete against Kansas City. They almost beat them twice. You know what I mean? They beat them the first time, convincingly, and the second time they won. They
Don't bet
lost
against
because they were too good. Kind of like the
Don't bet
49ers. They
against
scored
Patrick
too quickly.
Mahomes.
Huh?
You don't bet against Patrick Mahomes.
I'm not betting against
That
Patrick
lesson way too
Mahomes.
many
If I had to
times.
choose, a team, I'd still probably say the Chiefs win the division. But right now, it's up for debate. There's no doubt about it. This Chiefs defense has been one of the worst in the league, if not the worst. And that is an issue that they have to fix. If they don't fix that defense, they will not win that division. I promise you that.
The two hardest divisions in the NFL are the AFC and NFC West. The West divisions are really hard right now.
Oh yeah, I also think, yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah,
like I would say the AFC West is better than the AFC North.
Yeah, because the Steelers look like they're taking a downfall, and like the Ravens with those injuries, and Cleveland is a bit up and not this season, but they're an up and down team in general. Yeah, probably as of right now, definitely. Just comparing the records. Yeah.
Speaking of the Steelers, they're like the Spurs of the NBA because the Spurs they fell off. Steelers are falling.
Okay, hold on. You want to go to the North? Yeah, we could talk about the North in general. So you were saying about the Steelers?
The Steelers are the Spurs of the NFL. They were good for like a long time. Their main guy got old and they're falling off now. And they're starting to be that rebuild they've been avoiding for a while. You have to go into it.
Yeah, they have the talent. They just need to rebuild that offensive line. You know what I mean? And they can't Big Ben is struggling. Big Ben is struggling, but they can't just go get a rookie quarterback and have him, not a rookie quarterback or an inexperienced one like Dwayne Haskins and put him behind that offensive line. You know what I mean? Like nobody can succeed behind there. Najee Harris, you know what I mean? He went from playing Alabama offensive line where they all had like All-Americans to Pittsburgh Steelers.
Alabama, that wasn't fair. Like literally, it was a bunch of 6'6", 300-pound guys against a bunch of guys who were way smaller than them.
Exactly.
Like Najee Harris had it way too easy in Alabama.
Yeah, and now he's having to, fight for every single inch he gets. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a struggle for the Steelers. That's why maybe that pick was wrong because maybe it wasn't the running backs. James Conner showed that he's an adequate running back. You just need an offensive line. They didn't have that. So, yeah, I think the Steelers are in big trouble. I had them winning the division, but.
No, I haven't. The Bengals
I had them.
The Bengals might have a better record than them.
I still believe in Mike.
They might get last.
Mike Tomlin always goes at least 500, and I'm gonna hold off on my thing with the. I want to see a bit more. Ravens are alarming too. By the way, they're struggling. They struggled against the Lions. Let's be fair.
The NFC.
They took a Justin Tucker 66-yard, which I don't even.
The AFC North is those teams where you can get first or last. There's no way to predict it unless
I don't think Cincinnati can get first.
They can get second. They can if Joe Burrow goes crazy enough.
I don't trust their coach, an experienced coach, Zach Taylor. He's the next Sean McVay. I don't even think he's the next Lincoln Riley. Like, what is he doing? I don't understand that decision. He hasn't. I don't think the offense is as creative or anything. I don't. It's a lot of Joe Burrow making plays to his weapons. It's nothing special. There's no clever run game. There's none of that. You know what I mean?
Their O-line isn't that good. Like
their O-line is not that good still, despite their pick. I don't
know why they didn't draft
Jamar Chase. Huh?
I do not know why the Bengals didn't draft Penei Sewell.
I mean, Jamar Chase been going off. You can't.
Jamar Chase is good, but still.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Like the more I think about it, we're gonna touch this later, but I think the Dolphins made a mistake in not taking that lineman, because not taking that lineman single-handedly basically got Tua injured. You know what I mean?
So,
You
but
gotta protect those quarterbacks. You gotta protect those quarterbacks. And I was watching this. I think it was one of the former quarterbacks. He was on the one of the podcasts after the draft. It was what was his name? Eisen, one of the NFL Network host, and one former quarterback was on there. I think he was a former, I forgot what team he was, but he was talking about how, why are the Dolphins taking Waddle ahead of a lineman? Why are the Bengals doing that? And at first I was like, man, shut up. But now to think about it, you got to protect these quarterbacks. You got to give
like,
these guys time. And not only that, but they're also they help the running game. Like, I think it was a big mistake, honestly.
Speaking of the Lions, their offensive line is like the current version of like the Detroit Bad Boys. Like, it's crazy.
Their line is pretty good, yeah.
Their O-line is pretty aggressive. Did you not see what Penei Sewell said like in an interview?
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good O-line. I can't even lie. I saw them play against the Niners and a little bit against the Packers. They protected Jared Goff pretty well.
Honestly,
but that's so random. Let's go back. What we were trying to touch. So we touched up on a little bit of AFC, NFC. What I mean? So right now, just name your top 3 teams so far, like a top 3 quick power ranking, so we can move on to NBA. Yeah.
Okay. First place is Rams, like for sure. Second place, honestly, I don't know who to give it to. I would give it to the Chiefs based off of just, how it is, but their performance is making it impossible for me to give it to the Chiefs. Who's the other 3-0 team other than the Broncos and the Rams? There's one more 3-0 team, I know that for sure. Raiders? Okay.
You can't put them in your top 3.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. I said it was in the division.
I say my top 3 right now are.
I'm gonna say Rams, Buccaneers,
okay,
and Chiefs.
Despite their 1-2 start, you're high for that. Rams, I say Rams 1, Raiders 2, Buccaneers 3. In my opinion,
I say Chiefs 3 because they have the best player in the NFL, and they have
the Buccaneers have the greatest quarterback in the NFL, and their
the greatest, not the best.
And the Raiders have the MVP of the NFL so far.
Bro, the Raiders are gonna fall. Trust me. By the end of in 2 weeks, you're gonna fall off.
Oh God, you are okay. Okay, whatever.
No. Okay. Next week, we're gonna be on the show next week, right? I guarantee you will eat your words. I can guarantee it. We can book that.
I forgot who they play. Let me search it up real quick. Okay. The Raiders, week 4, they play the Chargers Monday night. That'll be a great game. Okay. We'll be back Thursday and we'll talk about it.
No. Honestly, if you're viewing this, I want you to clip this. If I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm not that smart. Like you can go ahead. You viewer, I want you to clip this right now. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. But I think the Raiders are pretenders. I'm sorry. It's what it is.
Okay. Before we move on to the rest, to the NBA, real quick, Tom Brady going back to New England, probably the biggest game this NFL season, maybe the biggest game of the decade in terms of regular season. Tom Brady is going into New England to play against Bill Belichick after that nasty ending. But a storyline that's being very underrated, in my opinion, that nobody's talking about is the fact that Tom Brady can break the passing record in Gillette Stadium in front of Bill Belichick. You know what? When that happens, I want the camera to cut on Bill Belichick. I want to see his reaction. Do you think he'll clap?
No, he's gonna be like this.
You don't think he'll clap?
He'll be like this.
You don't think he'll clap? I think he's showing that, when he has to, he'll compliment him like he did in the press conferences this week. So I think he'll clap. I may even think he might some kind of gesture. Who knows? Maybe like a walk up to him or something. I don't know. But I just think he has to.
Like that.
I don't know. But it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. And imagine how motivated Tom Brady will be, how motivated Bill Belichick will be. It's just gonna be such a fantastic game. And
hey, Emran,
I'm gonna have the Buccaneers win it. I'm gonna have the Buccaneers win that. I assume the same with you, Shakib.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, but
So yeah, guys, thanks for watching.
thanks for
Like and
watching.
subscribe. There'll
This
be more
we're
content.
gonna have a name soon. We're gonna have a name soon for sure. You know, hey, leave some suggestions in the comments.
Yeah, of course.
And we
And
want
there'll
to read
be
them.
we'll record on Thursday. They'll probably be posted Friday mornings. I'll try to get that posted as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and peace out.
Yeah. See. I mean, yeah.